Hi, I'm Jillian and welcome to the show. I offer spiritual growth for the rebel soul, guiding you through the labyrinth of your own ascension path. This show is for the rebel souls that challenge the status quo, those that crave authenticity in every single aspect of their lives, that desire to embrace their uniqueness, follow their passions, connect to their soul, and live according to who they truly are, even if that means having the courage to go against the grain or the norms of society. If that's you, my spiritual soul seeker, rebel warrior, then this is the place for you. On this podcast, we speak about everything from spirituality, sexuality, conscious relationships, business, and literally everything in between. So if that's your jam, then stay tuned. And go on, be a rebel and subscribe. You know you want to. Are they really your soulmate? Or are they actually a karmic relationship? So today we're going to be diving into a topic that so many of you have been asking about, soulmates and karmic relationships. Because it's happened so often, we experience these intense emotional and sexual connections with someone and we immediately go to, oh my god, this must be my soulmate. Is this my soulmate? Who's done that? I think we've probably all been there, right? But what if that instant connection isn't actually the pure love that we think it is and that we want it to be? What if it's actually a karmic bond from a past life that is actually carrying the weight of so many unresolved issues, vows, energetic imprints, past karma that actually need healing? And before we can truly experience the love that we deserve, we need to meet this person so that we can heal the wounds of our past so that they're no longer blocking our future. So today I'm going to explore how you can tell the difference between a soulmate connection and a karmic bond. And I'm going to share some of the signs that are going to help you to understand if you're actually dealing with a karmic. If you're dealing with a karmic right now, if your ex was a karmic, and how you can start to heal those patterns so that you can start to attract a true soulmate, and so that you can actually learn more about yourself and heal the things that are blocking you from your own ascension and spiritual path, because all of our relationships are here for a reason. They're here to help us grow. They're here to learn the lessons that we need for our soul to ascend. So I'm also going to share a really personal story of an intense connection that I had, and how me going in to explore the past lives that I had with this person not only helped me understand and release a bond that was no longer serving me, but helped me understand that dynamic and that person's part to play in my bigger evolution. So let's get into it. First, let's break down what the hell is a karmic relationship. You've probably heard the word karmic relationship being bandied about the internet, but what it actually is a relationship between two souls that are essentially bound by unfinished business from their past lives. So these are the relationships that feel so intense, so magnetic and even fated. But this is how you're gonna know they come with this just sense of imbalance or serious emotional turmoil. Because in a karmic relationship, it's either one or both of you are playing out some kind of unresolved lesson or some pattern from the past, because they're playing them out so they can be healed. And these relationships are going to trigger some really, really deep wounds. But the purpose isn't actually to create pain. It's an opportunity for you to see them, for them to be brought to the surface, which is often through pain, so they can be healed and that karma can be resolved. It's really, these relationships are all about facing, the unresolved issues that we've carried over lifetimes and ideally breaking the cycle. Because I do believe that for so many of my listeners, for so many of the people that are drawn to me, you are the cycle breakers. And that is of generational trauma. That's of past life trauma. That's of this life trauma. You're here to break the cycle. And you're here to live your fullest potential and a soul-led life. And then we have the other hand, okay? We're going to go into the soulmate connection territory now. And this is very different, right? Because this is where one or both of you are in complete alignment with each other. You know, you're in alignment with each other's growth. You have like a shared purpose. You know, like if you're with a soulmate or if you've met a soulmate, you're going to have like, it's like a deep bond, but it's a peaceful bond. You know, and it's very much about tending to support each other's evolution. There's no control, there's no force, there's no like ambiguity. You know, the energy between you two is really balanced. And yes, while it can feel intense as well, it doesn't carry like that same unresolved tension that a karmic bond does. So, how can you tell if you're in a karmic relationship? So here, like, there's a few signs, as we've already mentioned, but like the emotional intensity is probably the biggest one, right? Like that deep emotional pull that you have to that person, you know, it can actually, when you tune into it, it can feel kind of draining. It can feel destabilizing. You know, it's like this emotional roller coaster where the highs are highs and the lows are really low. So the emotional intensity, right? Like, and that could be like a real like sexual magnetic connection to them as well. But there's just that like magnetic, undeniable pull, but it's not in a healthy way. And then there's the repetition of patterns, right? Because you might, with a karmic, you might start to notice the same issues keep showing themselves. The same patterns keep showing up. You know, and that could be certain cycles like betrayal or abandonment or trust or emotional neglect that kind of just feel like familiar almost, as if you've kind of been through it before. Because here's the thing, you have been through it before. Because you're replaying some karmic patterns with this person that you've had lifetimes with before. And in this lifetime, you have decided to reconnect, to heal these patterns. Your soul wants to evolve and it doesn't want to continue to repeat these unhealthy patterns lifetime after lifetime. So you've both agreed at some level to meet again and activate each other so you can see these wounds and you can heal them. And there's also like this feeling of unfinished business. Like this is like true pretty much for all of them, right? You know, you have this really strong connection with this person, but it's like the relationship just kind of feels like incomplete. Like there's something left unsaid or left like unresolved. Like that is such a key thing. So if you felt that, then probably a karmic. And then there's just like this difficulty in letting go, you know, like even if that relationship is toxic or so unhealthy and you know that this person isn't right for you, like there's often just this overwhelming sense that you just can't walk away, that you can't be without this person, that there's just this like tie to this person. And that's probably because it's this unresolved karma and these emotional energetic attachments that you've both carried or one of you has carried from past lives. Like until they're realized and healed, it's really difficult to break away or heal from the heartbreak that comes often from these relationships. So now I want to talk about how do we clear those karmic connections and how do we just create the space for healing, because that's really what they're here to do. You know, and the first step, like I always say, is awareness. You know, understanding that the intense as fuck emotions that you're feeling might actually be tied to a past life. Like this can really help you to approach the relationships in a really new perspective. Because, you know, when you start to bring that awareness to the surface and you start to like look beyond the surface drama, and you start to notice and explore the deeper patterns and lessons at play, you can start to realize like the purpose of that relationship and help you move on or move forward from it, and in fact help you ascend. Because that's what the soul's ascension process is to heal the wounds so that you can step into more love, more joy, more self-compassion, and attract your highest potential. And you can't do that when there's all these wounds that you're carrying from these past lives. You just can't. So, you know, that's why it's so important to understand what this relationship is. Are there energetic imprints that need cleared? Are there karmic residues? Do you have vows? Do you have old bonds that you are still holding on to? And this is why this dynamic is coming up again. But thankfully, we can clear those with lots of different healing modalities, your past life regressions, your psychic energy healing, or, really just working with your higher self and your spirit guides, which is everything that I teach my clients to do and help support my clients through in terms of their healing process. Because you can actually release all your outdated vows, because you might have made a vow to this person that you will never leave them, or that they will never escape you. Like, there's been some crazy vows that we have made in past lives to each other that come and then bite us on the ass when we come into this life. And we don't have to have those, because oftentimes we're meant to break them. It's not in our highest good to continue old vows that we've made in past lifetimes. So we can release those. We can release those energetic attachments. We can heal those emotional wounds, and we can truly step into that place of freedom. And one of the most important lessons I hear, I think, is that it's all about soul choice, okay? In all of these karmic dynamics, both people have the opportunity to heal and evolve. You can both do that through the wounds that are coming up and the patterns that are coming up and the lessons that are coming up in this type of relationship. But here's the thing, right? Not everyone's going to choose that healing path. Sometimes, and this is often what happens with karmics, one person is going to remain stuck in their old patterns whilst the other evolves. And this is why these relationships do not work out. This is why you're never, for the most part, people are not with their karmic for very long. And that's part of the soul's journey. And as painful as it might be, it's so crucial to honor each other's soul choice and just let go when the healing isn't mutual. And that kind of leads me on to sharing my personal story around this with you, because this happened to me, right? I had this intense connection with someone, and from the moment that we had connected, it was this undeniable emotional and sexual chemistry. It was honestly nothing I'd ever experienced before. Deep, magnetic, and kind of almost overwhelming, honestly. But there was a catch, as always. There was a catch. And despite having that intense connection, this particular person started displaying very avoidant behavior. And, deep down, they'd been hurt a lot in this lifetime, but also past lifetimes, right? They didn't know that, but I did. They were afraid of love. They were afraid of moving forward, even though we both felt the strength of this bond, right? We both felt it, but they were terrified, honestly. I found myself kind of at points stuck in the cycle of, wanting more, but then feeling rejected or distant, and of course, it was confusing and painful. So I turned inward to get the answers, as I always do. And then I was okay, let me explore this connection on a deeper level. And then I went into some past lives. And what I discovered was eye-opening. And this is what I've done with so many of these relationships that, not say so many, there's been a few that I would class as karmic, but they were there for my spiritual 3 that have been a catalyst for my biggest spiritual lessons and awakenings, and for me to rise to the next level of my spiritual evolution. There's 3 people in my life that a very similar thing has happened to. So with this particular one, when I dived into the past lives, I dived into 2 past lives, right? So in the first one, what came up was that we were 2 women living in an Arabic country somewhere in the past, where obviously our love was forbidden, because we were 2 women, very illegal in any kind of Arabic country to be gay. So obviously, in that lifetime, we couldn't be together openly. It was illegal. It was, it's forbidden. We either faced death for our love, or we would run away. And we'd planned to run away together, but at the last moment, she became too scared. And guess what? I was left alone. And, that was such a powerful revelation because it fully explained the emotional walls and the fear that she was carrying in this lifetime towards me and with this dynamic. Because that's what happens, right? It's like she wasn't conscious of this lifetime, right? But it's like all the unconscious fears and the behaviors that she was displaying was because she was carrying these old fears and this karmic residue from a past life. And there was these elements of fear of being seen and a fear of love. Like those were all things that were replaying in our dynamic. And then in the other life, I saw us as leaders in a galactic society. And I was a leader of like a really peaceful society. And she was a leader of like an invading force that was basically trying to take over my kingdom. And in the end, her forces failed. And through, multiple interactions with me thereafter, and the compassion that I led with as a leader, she realized the importance of love and peace. And she was actually some kind of more of like a, not human, but like a more of a male, what's the word? More of like a male energy, if you like, even though we weren't like human because we were in galactic societies. And this is what can happen. You can have the same soul, but has played many different roles, many different genders, also many different galaxies with you in past lives. So it's really fascinating to go into your past lives and explore and see who you actually are and how you're showing up and where the hell you are. So yeah, so in this lifetime, like through her interactions with me, she vowed to change her ways and then started to offer me support and anything that I needed moving forward and support me in my leadership to run and, be head of my throne for my kingdom. And what I realized the lesson in that life was there was just karmic balancing happening. In that life, she had the opportunity to face her fears and to step into love. And she chose to do that. That's what happened in that lifetime, right? She had come from this place of fear and trying to invade my kingdom with her army. But then once we were in interactions, she learned the error of her ways, and she had chosen the path to evolve into a place of love and compassion and support the way that I was leading my kingdom through love and through compassion and through peace. But in this current lifetime and the dynamic that was playing out with us now, I realized that that's kind of all those two lifetimes were really showing me that how she was showing up in avoidance now in this lifetime, the current one, was that there was an opportunity for her to really face those fears and to step into love and to heal and balance the karma. But she chose not to, and for that reason, the connection just didn't move. It remained stuck. And therefore, obviously, didn't progress at all. So again, what I learned from those past lives were just incredibly important. Like I realized we all have the opportunity to heal and grow together. But sometimes one person just isn't ready to do the work. And that's okay, Like I had to honor her choice and just let her go. Knowing that she wasn't ready to choose healing. Because this is the thing, right? Like, I will always choose healing. I will always choose growth. And if another person isn't aligned with that, then it will never work out anyway. And it will just cause more heartache than good. So, the key lesson is that like these karmic relationships that come into our life, they're not a sign of failure. They're not any kind of sign of a lack of love, right? They're really just an opportunity for us to grow, for us to heal, and for us to cultivate like a deeper self-awareness. Because that is what we're here to do as a soul. That is part of our ascension plan, right? And sometimes we're gonna meet people who are reflections of our own pain, reflections of our own past wounds. And it's up to us to choose to heal them. Whether they choose to heal with us or not is completely not our business. But when we clear the old energies and when we clear the attachments from our past lives, from our ancestral line, from our own childhood beliefs, we create the space for true and pure love to come in. You know, a love that isn't weighed down by past hurts, that's not weighed down by fear, unresolved issues. It's all about healing. It's all about releasing, and it's all about embracing the lesson. You know, so if you're in a karmic relationship right now that feels stagnant, or you're struggling to understand the deeper meaning behind this connection, or maybe you're struggling to heal from a past karmic, you can't fully move on, you continually feel this pull, or you're in and out of this pattern. And I just want you to like take a moment and reflect, like, could this be an opportunity for your growth? Or do you think that you might be just holding on to something that's just not serving you? You know, because here's the thing, right? Like, your true soulmate is going to come in. They're going to come in when you're ready. Not when you're stuck in these patterns of the past. And of course, you know, there's divine timing. They have to be ready, etc., etc. But it's like, you got to be putting in the work. So whether, you know, it's healing our old dynamics, clearing the energetic imprints, you know, or just deepening your spiritual growth, I'm here to help. You know, if you're called to start doing this work on a deeper level, to understand yourself, from understanding your own soul's path, from healing your relationships to yourself and to the others in your life, so that you can start to move onto your highest potential, then my one-on-one coaching, The Path, is designed to help you do just that. It's such a transformative process. You know, together we're going to clear any blocks that are holding you back. We're going to get clarity, and you're going to start experiencing love and connection that you truly deserve. Because remember, like, our relationships are gateways to our soul's evolution. And when we have the spiritual tools to heal, to understand, and to learn the lessons fast, we can start to move to that place of more love, more joy, and more meaning, just like we were always meant to. But when we're stuck and we keep replaying the same patterns, like, that doesn't feel good for anyone. So if you're looking for that support where we can get the instant clarity that you need, the healing that you need to fast track your evolution, then the path is for you. You know, or if you're looking for insight into a specific relationship, then I also offer individual psychic healing sessions, past life regression, and future progression sessions. So you can also book in one of those. If you want to get like a quick shift, then that's the place for you. You know, and all of those sessions are tailored specifically to you, to your soul's path, to help you uncover the deeper lessons in your relationships, to clear any lingering energy from your past lives, from your ancestral line, from the things that are blocking you from this lifetime, that are affecting you currently in your present. So if you are ready to heal, if you're ready to grow, and you're ready to attract true love into your life, then you can book any of these in the show notes below. All the links are here, or you can go to my website at www.jilliankane.com, or just drop me a message on Instagram. I love to meet you and virtually meet you and share. And if you have any feedback on the episode and it resonated with you, then I'd obviously love to hear your thoughts. So again, please feel free to reach out on Instagram or drop me a review. I love to read everything and love to hear any aha moments or insights that you might get from any of these episodes. I'm invested in your journey, honestly. So until next time, I just want you to keep exploring, keep healing, and keep embracing the magic of your soul's journey. The ups, the downs, the roundabouts, the relationships. There's always a deeper meaning in it. And if you're ready to find it, I'm ready to support you. Sending you so much love. Until the next one.